Welcome, day 7 of your challenge. I hope you are having an awesome time stretching it out and optimizing your organs and your meridian system. Today's sequence is going to be focusing on stomach and spleen, and we're going to be working through a little bit of twist, a little bit of forward fold, and a little bit through those quads. So what you need for today, have at least one blanket handy, and that's going to be for supporting the knees. If you have a yoga block, have that along. However, it's not necessary. If you don't have one, maybe just have an extra blanket or a towel that you can also use as well. Okay, we're going to get started. I just want to caution anyone who has knee problems. I'm going to show some variations here. So you want to make sure that your knees are really safe and feel comfortable in these poses. Okay, we're not looking to target any sort of attention to the knees. We're looking to get into the hamstrings, we're looking to get into the quads, and we're looking to get into the side body as well. Okay, so knees are not what we're looking for. So we're going to start in a variation of half saddle pose. Okay, I recommend sitting up on something. I'm going to be using a small cushion. You can easily use a blanket, fold it up, and roll it up. And then you're going to sit up on towards it. Okay. From here, just take a moment to let your legs straighten out if you were in a seated position. And then from here, as long as your right knee is okay flexing back, you're going to bend this knee back behind you. And then you're going to open up your left leg. Okay? If you find when you come into this position, this does not work on the right knee, no problem. Different little variation here. Take the foot to the inside of the leg instead. If this knee is elevated, you can prop it up and stick a blanket underneath it. Okay, so either this variation here for a safer knee, or you're coming into a little bit of a flexion here. We're going to start by taking a little bit of a twist. So take a moment and lengthen up your spine. Close your eyes. Just take a moment here to settle. Just feeling your body into this shape. Starting to lengthen up through your spine. Softening and relaxing your face and relaxing your muscles. From here, you're going to take your left hand and cross it over towards your right knee. And then you're going to take your right arm back behind you. And it can just rest on the low back, especially if you're tight through the front of the body, because you're going to get a stretch in through there as well. If you're a little bit more open, you can maybe slide the hand towards the inside of that left thigh. And from here, you want to keep the spine nice and long and just slowly rotate your chest to face towards the right side. Keep the eyes closed, relax the muscles, and connect with your breath. We're just in this variation for a minute. So if you can, start to really focus on taking long breaths out. Really maximize the exhale and keep the tissues and the muscles completely relaxed. The more that you can soften in and let your body experience, the more benefits you're going to receive from your practice. This is a great pose for optimizing digestion. I wouldn't do it right after you eat, but within a couple of hours after you've eaten, if you're looking to optimize the digestion through your stomach and spleen, this is a great little pose. Any kind of twists are actually quite good for that. Take in another couple of deep breaths here. Keep the spine nice and long. Keep rotating towards your right side. Relax your shoulders. Then stay in the twist and take one more breath in and one more breath out. Now release from the twist, start to face forward. This time you're going to turn your chest to face towards your left leg, and you're rounding your spine and folding forward here. Now if your neck is sensitive, you can stack some blankets on top and maybe even stacking fists, depending on how far down you're coming, and you can use that as a support. You can also make use of a block or two. The other great thing, if you don't have blocks and you're looking for some kind of support for your head, often phone books work really, really well for that. So if you've got those handy anytime, just keep them by your mat. In this forward fold here, you want to keep the back of the knee nice and soft. So you don't want to lock behind your left leg. And just allow your spine to round forward. Come into a place where you can feel some sensation. And stay attuned to your breath and to the experience of what it is that you're feeling. So in this position as we fold, we're targeting a little bit through some of the meridian lines for the stomach and spleen that run through the inside of the thigh. But we're also, because we're compressing a little bit on towards that left side, we're compressing through our, little bit through our stomach and mostly through our spleen. So this, again, this little short burst of compression here through there is what restricts the blood flow temporarily. And then when you come out of the pose, it actually starts to re-stimulate and revitalize the organ by bringing fresh blood into it. So really, really good poses. When you compress and then you decompress out of that, that's where you're going to find that you're going to start to create that balance in the organs that you need. Okay? So stay with me here. Keep yourself folded. Don't worry about how far down you're coming. And focus on your breath. A deep breath in, nice long breath out. We have about 20 seconds left here, so stay folded forward. Stay attuned to your breath. Notice if you're wanting to fidget, to adjust, for the mind to wander. Stay here. Stay with me and stay with your breath. Take one more really deep breath in and out. And then when you're ready to inhale again, slowly lift yourself up and allow your spine to lengthen and face forward so you're just right through the inside of the thighs. Okay, from here, we're simply folding forward right to the inside of the leg. Now, for those of you, if you have your knee in flexion back and this is starting to get a little bit sensitive for you, please remember that you have the option. You can always take the foot to the inside and then take your forward fold. Try to keep your sit bones grounded back so that as you roll forward, the more the sit bones sit back, the less pressure there is on the knees. Okay, so when you fold here, just allow yourself to come down. Some of you may be up on your hands. You might be able to come down on towards your forearms, or some of you may even be coming down to stack fists. You just keep the seat rolling back. Keep the eyes closed and enjoy the destination of wherever it is that you've landed. Keep your mind on your breath. And I always encourage in a yin practice to really focus on the sound that your breath makes. So that's part of the reason why most of my videos don't have music in them. Sometimes the music can be a distraction. Sometimes it can actually help you to stay present. In this case, I really want you to focus on the sound that your breath makes so that you can really start to use the breath as your tool to nourish yourself in these poses. And especially when the sensations get really strong or when you start to feel like maybe nothing is happening and then the mind wanders because there's nothing to feel in terms of sensation. So if you get to a point in your practice where you do notice that the sensations are really starting to soften a lot, then you know that that's an indication that as long as your breath is staying nice and deep, you can start to fold a little bit more forward. Or wherever you are in your pose, you can start to deepen it a little bit more and make those micro adjustments so that you can find that next layer. And think of these poses as ways that you're unpeeling an onion. So your body is like the onion, and as you come into each pose and you start to marinate at them a little bit longer, you're going to start to notice that you can start to pull apart the layers one at a time. We have about 20 seconds left here. Take in at least another really full and deep breath, depending on how deep your breath is. And breathe into your back body, to your hips, your inner thighs. And then as you inhale, slowly start to lift yourself up. Once you come up to an upright position, exhale completely. And then roll back a little bit, whether your knee is forward with your foot in front or if you were sitting back with your foot behind, roll back a little bit and carefully release that leg out. You bring the left leg in. Give the right knee just maybe a little bit of a massage, especially if you find that you're feeling a little bit tender in there. And then reposition yourself to sit back on your prop. This time your right leg is coming out and your left knee is either, again, bending back, or if that doesn't work for you on this side, you take the foot to the inside. For me, the knee back doesn't work for me. So on this side, I'm going to keep my foot in front. Okay, let's start by first lengthening out the spine, and then we're taking our twist. So the right hand wraps towards your left leg, and you're going to take your left arm back behind you. Okay, just let it relax there. It's not like you're trying to find a grip. Then keep the spine long. Gently rotate your chest towards your left knee. Close your eyes. Find your breath. Inhale, exhale deeply. Let your belly soften. Especially when you're in twists, you really want to relax the belly so that you can get the maximum benefit from the twist. Okay, bringing as much breath into your abdomen as you can. And then when you're exhaling, you're just letting it all soften and release. We're here for just about another 3 breaths. Keep everything relaxed. Notice if you're starting to want to grip or to hold on as we move to the other side of the body. Just consciously relax through fingers, toes, jaw, throat, your face. And even though your eyes are closed, are they shut softly or are they shut tightly? So if they're tight, just let them soften. Slowly take an inhale and unwind. Relax your arms down and pause and exhale. And then turn to face towards your right leg now. Keep a nice little bend in the back of the knee and just round forward and slowly start to fold. Again, let your head land wherever it goes. So if you're more upright or if you're folded more forward, it's not really important. It's not about how far down you're coming. It's just about finding a mindful place where you can rest, where there's some sensation that you can experience, but it's not painful. Think of your connective tissue like an elastic band. So you want to stretch it out, but you don't want to overstretch it and then create more imbalance. So you move slowly, and part of the reason why we hold these poses for a few minutes at the time is because your connective tissue is really tight. So if you stretch it really quick and really fast, it'll just snap. But if you sort of massage into it and slowly work your way into the pose and give yourself the time to actually move into it one layer at a time, you'll actually have a more effective practice. And that flexibility, that range of motion that you're looking for, that vitality in the connective tissue is actually going to be more viable and is going to stay that way longer than if you force and push yourself down into a position. And keep your spine nice and rounded here. We have about 40 seconds left. Just feel the collarbones as they start to draw together in this forward fold. And your arms are relaxed. Let the back of that right leg soften, especially if your hamstring is tight. Keep breathing. The more you can release, the deeper breath, the more mindfulness you can bring into your breath, the more advantageous and beneficial this practice is. Now slowly on an inhale, begin to roll yourself up. Draw your chest to face forward towards the inside of your legs. Lengthen once again, roll the shoulders down, then hinge from your hip and start to fold forward between the legs. Again, you might be on your hands, you might be down on your elbows, you might be coming down. Wherever you are, just stay there. Find your breath. Relax. Take advantage of the compression of all the organs in the front and a nice opening through your back body. If you have lower back sensitivities, then these forward folds can be really beneficial. You want to just make sure that you have enough support underneath your seat. So often with forward folds, it's really good to sit up on something. I find blocks are okay to sit on, but I actually find that blankets or towels work better. And as your body starts to open up, you have that softness from those towels or blankets so that you can start to move more deeply. With a block or a phone book, for example, those are great for stabilizing. But if you're looking to find that deeper experience in your pose as your body starts to open up, the softer props actually work better for you. Take a nice long breath in this forward fold. And take a long breath out. Now, if your left leg was drawn back in flexion, then you're going to slowly lower back, release the leg. Bring the right leg out in front, shake both your legs out. Give a little bit of attention to the knees. And then just come to a seated position. So nice, comfortable, cross-legged Sukhasana, easy pose. Hands resting on your lap. Close your eyes. Take a moment here to lengthen your spine. Start to relax your breath until it moves into its normal, more organic, natural state. Allow your body a few moments here in this meditative position to incorporate the benefits of your practice. Take at least another 5 breaths here. And then when you're ready, you'll slowly make your way down onto your back, lying down on your mat for final relaxation, Shavasana. Once you arrive in Shavasana, take as much time as you need. Support yourself with blankets. And then let the eyes rest. Continue to let the breath rest. And enjoy even a few more moments in Shavasana. Thank you very much for joining me for day 7. I will see you on the mat tomorrow for day 8. Namaste.